Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You have joined us for Talks and Tea with me, Tonya Nicole. Go ahead, go grab your tea, grab your mug, whatever you're drinking tonight. We're going to come back and get started in 30 seconds. I have a wonderful guest joining me tonight, Miss Shelby Christensen, and I am excited. So come back, put your comments in the comment section of what you're drinking, and I'll see you soon. Hey, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited today. I have my very special guest. But before I introduce her, I am excited to be back. As you know, we took last week off. So I got some of your comments saying, where in the world is Talks and Tea tonight? We took off last week just to take a break and to revive and to breathe. And now we're back with a bang. And I'm very excited because we have a wonderful guest joining us today. And we're going to get our talk really going. And I'm excited about that. LaShawn, welcome, welcome, welcome. I love the whiskey in a wine glass. It does make you feel more sexy when you drink it in a wine glass. I don't know why, but anything in a wine glass is better. The other day, one of our guests came and she had her tea in a wine glass because maybe that should be our new thing, but I like my mugs, so we're going to stick with the mugs, but enjoy your whiskey in a wine glass. I'm going to go ahead and share with you all and introduce Shelby. Shelby Christensen is, and I love this, she's a sock picker upper, an unpaid house manager. Oh yeah. And she's a coach for moms. She helps them find time and patience, the patience that they need in order to thrive with their children. And Shelby says she's as real as they come. Welcome, 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 Shelby.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you tonight.
I'm excited to have you on. It's so funny. I'm sitting up here. I had told Shelby right before we came in, I was like, I'm going to do Instagram Live at the same time. I don't know how to do Instagram Live. So I'm up here playing with it. I don't even see a button to do live. So I'm Instagram Live. We're just going to put that to the side. We're not going to do it. If you're out there and you want to tell me how to do it, go ahead and put in the comments. Say, Tonya, this is how you do Instagram Live. Tonight, I am drinking from my She mug. And you all know we have an upcoming She conference, The Reset, and we'll talk more about that later. But inside, I am drinking a Sleepy Time tea. It is a Detox by Skinny Fit. So it's supposed to help you get good rest. So it's supposed to bring you down. What are you drinking tonight, Shelby? And what's your mug?
My mug is Starbucks Washington mug because that's where I am. I'm in the Seattle area. And to be honest, I don't drink a lot of tea, but I've got some espresso and milk in here. So I'm good to go.
I love it. And y'all, I had to call Shelby out. I was like, Shelby, you have your mug. We're ready. She's like, oh no.
So I ran.
Mad dash. That's really cool. Really cool. So we're just going to jump right in. I'm excited for today. I'll throw in some funky, fun things as we're talking, but just for everybody, who are you, Shelby? What are you all about? I know.
That's a good question. Who am I? I don't know that I've been able to answer that really until the last year. Well, first and foremost, I'm a coach for moms. And it's something that's very personal to me. It comes from, there's a big, backstory and with my own life. And I am a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a friend. And I'm just someone who really, I feel like I was born to help other people.
I love that. I really do. Y'all, I'm a part of Shelby's. She has a community on Facebook. It's a private community. We're going to put up all that contact information. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and throw it up right now. So just in case you can't stay for all of it, her private Facebook community is awesome. It's called Learn to Parent with Patience. Check her out. Anything on here, we'll scroll her website and all of that so you can stay connected, and we'll put that back up. But you give some really good tips to parents as to how to just kind of forgive yourself, give yourself a little grace, and show up. Where did that even come from? I know you said you had a story, so give us a little snippet of that story.
Yeah. Well, I think as moms, we're the toughest on ourselves, right? It's so easy to be our own biggest critic, and so I'm no different. That's been me my whole life, and I had a really tough upbringing. I didn't know my dad, and my mom was not someone whose example I would want to follow. And so, literally, from the first time I found out I was pregnant 10 years ago, I started researching every day, all the time, to just try to find out. Like, I knew I was starting from less than scratch with parenting. So it's been a lot of learning, 10, almost 11 years of learning just every day.
I love that because a lot of people talk about pulling from their childhood, whether it's positive or negative. But yours, you have a unique story. So, what are some values that you had to learn to instill in your family or as you parent?
Patience is a huge one. That's why my whole program is centered around it, because it's my own biggest struggle. But also just honesty. I grew up being lied to a lot about little things and big things. And so I've never, I mean, we might get some backlash in the comments about this. I never did Santa or the Tooth Fairy or anything because I just,
Oh my goodness.
I didn't. Oh my God. Okay, good.
Right now.
Yes. Okay. Because I didn't want to lie to my kids. So honesty really is the biggest one.
I love that. I will say that there is one that I hold truth, but it is the truth. And that is that I am 7 feet 11 inches and that this is just my undercover height. So that would be the one.
I like it. I like it a lot.
But I love that because a lot of things that really does resonate well. And even I will say we do kind of tooth fairy, but the tooth fairy they know is mom or grandma or somebody who puts money up under their pillow. We just do it at night versus awake. So why is that so important to not lie, even in those small things that kind of seem, from what some people will say, is a part of childhood?
Yeah. When your kids find out that you haven't told the truth, and when I found out that my mom didn't tell the truth, it makes you question everyone, their motive, your own motive. Are you, good enough? Are they good enough? What are they really doing? And it's just not how I wanted my kids to be. And an example of this would be like, my mom would always say, don't steal. Obviously we teach our children not to steal, but then we'd be at a restaurant and she was that mom that like stuck the ashtray in her purse or stole all the sugar packets, and just, that's not a lie, but it's dishonest, and it's teaching your kids to do something by example, but saying not to do it, and just a lot of conflict in that way. So I really wanted to avoid that in my own household.
That is really important. I often say, if we can't be trusted with the little things, how can we be trusted with the big things? We got a like on that one, a thumbs up for you of definitely that honesty. What are some other values that you've pulled out from your research and in being very intentional about how you raise your children?
Kindness, compassion. I think I have probably 10 different signs around my house that say, if you can be anything, be kind. Because again, my mom, who was my primary caregiver my whole life, she was the one that she was mean to people in restaurants. Like she was the demanding, sassy one, and not in a cute way, at just everywhere we went. And I've really tried to take on, like, let's leave people better than we found them, and help people if and when you can. And so I really try to instill that in my kids as well.
Now, does your research involve any TV shows? And I ask this because lately I've had a few different conversations about influential iconic TV show families that have influenced our parenting. Are there any influential TV parents, TV moms, or dads, even that have affected you positively in what you wanted to create for the parent that you were?
I love that question. I actually just found a TV show on Hulu that I want to start watching because it really resonated with my story. And I think it was called Breeders or something. But so that's on my to watch list. But there's a show called Parenthood that had 6 or 7 seasons, and it's been on Netflix and I think on Hulu. And the story of that family is, it's like the grandparents are the ones that started it all, and then it's their grown children and their grandchildren, and the two grandparents, they came from broken families and kind of sad stories, and they it's very much a sense of like, look what we created. And that's very true for my husband and I. We both have very broken, very distant families, and so it's really starting with us, this idea of big family dinners on Friday nights just because we all want to be in the same room together. That's going to start with us.
I love that. I love that. I see you all joining us. So if you're joining us here today, Shelby Christensen, I always tongue twist the end of it. She is here today just talking with us about who she is, a little bit about her background, and how she is intentional about parenting with patience. She has a coaching business where she is dually certified in health and life coaching, and her embracing your element.com is her website of how you can connect with her. So Shelby, we see these ideas and all of these things around, but one thing that is true is our kids aren't perfect. So how do you address that now with the understanding and the research and all of the wonderful things you've done in order to be more effective in how you show up for your children?
That's a good question. That's a thinker. No one's perfect, right? And I'll be learning how to parent with patience for the rest of my life. I will be fighting the way I was raised for the rest of my life. I'll be researching for the rest of my life. And so I've accepted that that's an ongoing process. But when I think about my kids not being perfect, I guess that's one thing I never expected them to be. So, when they are having these big feelings or outbursts, whatever you want to call them, I just try to remember that they're people, and that it's okay that they're mad, and it's okay that I'm mad, because we're both people experiencing things from 2 different world perspectives. And I just try to remember that everyone has their own lens through which they view the world, and everyone's lens is valid.
That's really good. I I find that we sometimes struggle because our past, and we really don't want our children to have to live our past. And a lot of parents really think it's successful to, I want to give you all the things I didn't have. But what could be the harm in sometimes in doing that as it relates to being intentional and being patient with our own children?
A lot of what I talk about is, I spend a lot of time convincing moms to let go of their agenda.
Yeah.
And because when we try to have this agenda and control the outcome of whatever the situation is, it's just a recipe for stress and disaster. And so, letting go of that agenda and trying not to, when you are trying to just give everything that you didn't have, like when I was a kid, my mom never bought name brand anything. And so I was hell bent on, when I had kids, I was going to get them Crayola and Nike and all the, the brand names. And now I'm like, okay, like, why would I spend $65 on a pair of shoes that are this big that they're going to outgrow in 3 days? Like, so, it takes a little bit of balance and learning as you go. But, trying to give your kids only the things you didn't have leaves a lot on the table for what they might miss out on. And also it just creates this unnecessary agenda that will just stress you out.
I love that idea. Get rid of your agenda. And it's so true because parenting, you can have your agenda all you want to, but it will most definitely go off course. like
Yes.
100% guaranteed it's going off course. It's not going to work.
Yep.
Um, I have a I really think it's important. I've been talking about this a lot this week, but I didn't realize how many people really didn't understand the idea of coaching. And so let's take a little time just to talk about what coaching even is, for people who don't really understand. And especially, I feel like, I don't know if you knew I'm a parent coach as well. Did you know that?
I think so. I
I
want to
think
say yes.
okay. Which is well. But one of the things that I've realized through this journey is that people don't quite understand the need for parent coaching, as opposed to, hey, I can sell you 7 figures and you'll come out rich, or I can do this and this is what's going to happen. But when it comes to parenting, that idea of, I just keep going, I just keep doing what I'm doing, and even if it doesn't work, I just keep going. And a lot of times people solely look at therapy. So, what do you think, is something important for people to understand about parent coaching, mom coaching as you are, versus therapy or other realms?
Yeah. Therapy is sort of, well, first of all, you need a psychology degree or a doctorate degree. I do not have that, and I'm very open about that. And I tell moms that if you have severe things like postpartum depression, regular depression, anxiety, like, do see a therapist or talk with your doctor, because that's not what coaches are for. What coaches are for is to meet you where you are right now, talk about where you want to be tomorrow, and then how do we close that gap for you. And we're here to support you, to be your biggest fan and your biggest cheerleader, to stretch you out of your comfort zone, and then also to hold you accountable to the you that you want to be.
Ooh, it sounded like you were practicing that one. I love that. Yes.
I've said it a lot.
But that's really good. Therapists really are for that mental health and that mental health journey, which is why they have to get certain certificates and certifications in that area. But the need for the coach is just, it's a different world. And it really does take you beyond the hurt to actually movement and action where you can see progress. As Shelby said, this is an ongoing journey. Parenting always is an ongoing journey, but coaches can definitely help you kind of learn how to navigate that a bit more. What are some things that you really believe are ways that you can go around creating the experience, the parenting experience you desire? If you could pull out 3 things, what would they be to create the parenting experience you desire?
Okay, yeah. So get enough food and water and sleep, because you need that to be a functioning human being. Um, don't get lost in motherhood. Don't let it consume you. You have to do at least one small thing every day that like brings you joy, makes you happy, even if it's just driving to the coffee stand and getting your favorite drink. Um, and the third thing, this one's my favorite, and this one's the one I have the toughest time with, is you have to commit fiercely to taking care of yourself, because if you're not taken care of, well, let me rephrase that. A mom whose needs are met can meet the needs of motherhood.
Mm, that is good. Can you say that one more time for the people in the back?
Yes, a mom whose needs are met can meet the needs of motherhood.
Oh my goodness, that is good. What does that mean? Break that down.
Yeah, I actually saw a really awesome analogy for this today on TikTok, because I follow all the moms on TikTok. And she said, as moms, we think that taking care of ourselves and prioritizing ourselves, we feel guilty, we feel like we're abandoning our kids or whatever. And she goes, but imagine that you're on a canoe and you're just paddling around, you've lost an oar, and now holes are starting to pop up in your boat and water's coming in. And you're going to go down, you're sinking, and your kids are also in that boat with you. So it serves you and your family to keep your boat from getting holes in it and to keep yourself from sinking.
Wow, that's really good. That's really good. And a lot of times we forget that. Our brain just is sometimes in overdrive, but in taking that moment just to pour into ourselves. Oops, took off the wrong one. Pour into ourselves and really kind of build ourselves up, then we can give much more and be more effective in what we do with our children. I think one of the things that you talk about is kind of researching what you wanted to create for your family and for your values. But how does that look when you're incorporating your values into what you do on a day to day basis, whether it's in raising your children or also in coaching other moms as to how to do it?
Do you mean like how do I incorporate what I've learned just from reading it?
Yes, but how you found your values, but now how do you teach them? How does that come out in your day to day?
Yeah. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is a lot of self-control. I really have to, with self-care, with patience, with any parenting at all, it's my knee-jerk reaction is to behave the way I was, behaved when I was a child and also was raised. And so it's a lot of self-control, being willing to step back, acknowledge that I'm feeling something that I don't want to be feeling, which is usually anger. And then trying to get to the root of that, asking myself, why do I feel angry? What is my unmet need in this situation?
That's really good. All right, we're going to take it personally. I see you have tattoos. Tell us about your tattoos. Yeah.
I'm covered. I've been tattooed over close to 30 times. I stopped counting after a while. There's a few. This one is my Alice in Wonderland is for my husband. That one says, "After this, I shall think nothing of falling downstairs." When we first started dating, we were, like falling down the rabbit hole. I've got so many. I've just got some random squares with paint splatter look to it. I have one that my friend drew for me. I just really love tattoos. Like I could have paid off a small car with the money I've spent on tattoos. I'm not even kidding.
I love it. Are tattoos a part of your self-care?
Totally. I never thought of it until you just asked me that. But yes, I don't love it while it's happening because it hurts like hell, but yes.
See, I don't have any tattoos. I have zero.
Okay.
Is that crazy? Right.
My husband has none.
Oh, he doesn't have it. You have enough for both of y'all.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what he says.
I might say that too. They'll say, "Oh, Tonya, you don't have tattoos." Oh no, Shelby has them for me.
I've got enough for a lot of mom coaches. I'll just put that out there.
I love that. I love that. And so how is that a part of you and a part of your personality and a part of just kind of, I love it. I love it in your pictures. I love it in all that you do. So how does that express who you are as a person?
Oh, I love this. I spent a lot of my life trying to be anyone except who I was, right? I was trying to match whoever was in the room, whatever I thought their expectations of me would be, whether it was at a job or at a gathering, and so I spent a lot of my life covering my tattoos because of that. I've been written up at jobs for showing tattoos, and I just really decided that in having my own business, and then in 2021 specifically, my word of the year is authenticity. I was just gonna show all of me to whoever wanted to see it, and hold nothing back. And my tattoos are definitely a part of that because I spent so much time covering them up and not being allowed to show them, and they're just a part of me. So it's definitely a part of my self-expression.
I love that. Authenticity, I think, is a lot of people's words this year because it's one of mine. But I think it's that whole idea of it's time to stop hiding. People are looking for very real people that they can relate with. And I think the tattoos are a part of you. I mean, it shows awesomeness coming from you before they even meet you. So, yay.
Thank you.
Yes, I love it. I love it. When I read your bio and everything, I was like, oh, this is a perfect fit. I'm as real as they get. Excellent. That's what I want. Because there are a lot of parents and moms especially, who are suffering with mom guilt and mom shaming because someone, I don't know who, but someone is passing around that there is only one way to parent. And I often say, just because it's different doesn't mean it's wrong. If you're not abusing, neglecting, or abandoning your children, you don't get to tell me that because I curse or because I wear tattoos or because I wear my hair a certain way that I am a bad parent. So I think that's a real big piece with that. If you could tell parents something about being authentic or just people in general as we show up, what would be something that you would advise to show up authentically?
Oh, the first thought that's sort of coming to mind is it's terrifying, but it is so freeing. And so when you can be real, and it starts with you have to be real with yourself, right? There's a lot we hide from ourselves about who we are and who we think we are. And so you have to hit that point. And then once you hit that point and you've gotten a taste for who you really are, there's nothing like it. And it's hard to explain, the idea of being authentic. We all think we're being authentic, but when you really start to dig and get to like below the surface, there's a lot we're covering up, or at least I can't speak for everybody watching this, but I know for myself. And just being willing to show up as you are. I can't even tell you how much better I feel just in the first 3 months of the year, embracing that word authentic.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Guys, if you all are listening to this live or whether or not you're listening to this on a replay, I am here today with Shelby Christensen. She is a dual certified health and life coach, and she works with moms who are struggling to find the time and patience their children need and deserve. She helps them overcome everyday mom frustrations and parent with patience so they can thrive with their children. If you're a mom out there and you're looking for something to help you get over that rut, and you want to show up more authentically, go ahead and connect with Shelby Christensen. Her email address is scrolling below. It's been scrolling this whole time. And I'm even going to put up for you all, here's all of her contact information. So let me come over here and then I can, there you go. No, wrong way. There we go. Check her out. Exactly. We'll go to the side, check her out. Yes, check her out. Her company is Embracing Your Element Life Coaching, but she specifically works with moms. So if you're a mom out there and you are just sitting there thinking, what do I do next? Here's the answer for you. Connect with Shelby. Shelby, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I greatly appreciate it. And I have a few more exit things for you all. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so this is exciting. No, stay to the side. I'm going to put up another.
Okay, here we go.
So yesterday, March 1st started Women's History Month. Yes. And so in honor of Women's History Month, and I'm challenging everyone, we started our own hashtag challenge. So post a picture of black and white of a historical figure, and then a picture with you. You can do a quote, you can do a talk, and then put the hashtag I love what I do challenge. The goal is these women have paved the way so we can do what we want to do, whatever it is, whether it's to stay at home and be a super mom, or it's to go run the world and to be an individual all by yourself and enjoy it. But these women have paved the way so that you can do that. So we're doing hashtag I love what I do so that we can celebrate the women that have paved the way and no longer look to condemning one another. So join in the challenge, hashtag I love what I do, for the month of March. Yay! Oh, one more. Sorry, guys. If you haven't already, register for the Reset by She. And so this is a time for you all to come out. It's a one-day virtual summit. Registration at sheempowermentconference.com. And you all have been getting that information, so don't forget to register. If you want to contact with Shelby, connect with her. And that's all we have for you today. Right. Wherever it's at.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Shelby, thank you for joining me. And this has been Talks and Tea with me, Tonya Nicole, and my very special guest, Shelby Christensen. Peace.